Breakthrough, where we explore the journey of overcoming burnout and finding your breakthrough. With tips and stories, this podcast will guide you towards a healthier and happier version of yourself. Tune in every week for a new episode and let us help you envision a better life for yourself. Hey, everybody, welcome to another, I'm super excited, episode of the Envision Me Talk Show. You know how we do it every week. We come in here and we talk about how we can get to our what's next. But before I do that, I want everyone to tell me, drop it in the feed, let me know how you're doing. I know you guys are like, oh my God, we already got homework. Yes, but we're going to get it out of the way. So it's one, tell me how you're doing. Two, it's Win Wednesday. What is your win for this week? Drop it in the feed. You know, I love to do a good shout out. I love to give praise. And those of you, because look, my phone's already ringing and dinging. What is a win? A win is where you have set a goal and you've already reached the goal. Yay, I love that. Or are you one of those that's set the goal, but you haven't even started? Well, we're here to motivate you. Or better yet, you're one who wants to start, but don't even know where to begin. Well, listen, at least you're thinking about it, and I will give you the kudos and I will shout you out. I think all is good when we're all working on our what's next. So let me go and let me get, before I bring on my guests here, let me ask you guys, are you, and maybe it's just me, so I'm going to ask you and then I'm going to let you go get your pen and paper. That'll be the last bit of the assignment. Are you one of these people that are sitting somewhere like, I wish, or if I could, or better yet, if I had blank amount of money, I would? Is that you? Or is it just me that I'm like, okay, I'm going to remove all barriers and I'm going to go after my what's next no matter what? Well, if that's you and so much more, you're in the right place. So here in Vision Me, I always bring on Wednesdays, I always bring on powerful guests, women around the world that can inspire you. They can also give you tips and also tricks on how you can work on your what's next, no matter where you are. So if that's you, go grab your pen, paper. Look, go grab everybody, because you're going to get some golden nuggets and you're going to get to hear a show. So what I'm going to do is, okay, you guys, you know what I do at this point? I'm going to give you 30 seconds. 30. Now look, everybody's like, 30 seconds, that's it? Yes, that's it, you guys. 30 seconds to go get your pen and paper and your beverage and be back. Join me back here. And then let me know, what is your beverage you're drinking tonight? Okay, you ready? Here we go. Okay, time's up. Did you get your pen and paper? I have mine here. So my guest today is actually Sasha, and you've seen at the top, Sasha speaks, and we're going to talk about transformation ideas. You know, again, the reason why I ask those questions at the beginning is because it's like me. I am constantly sitting at my desk and thinking about, if I can remove this, where would I be? If I would do this, what would I do? And so much more. So I'm gonna bring Sasha to the table, to the stage. Hey, lady.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you? And thank you for joining us.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, did you hear my intro where you said, that is truly me. I'm sitting in a corporate office still thinking, okay, if I had $1 million, and then I'm always like, what would I be doing? You know, or what would I be doing? Or am I going to do I want to move up the corporate ladder? And it's just so my mind is constantly, then I have to reel myself back in because I'm still doing this on corporate time. So I really have to reel myself in. But first, before we even get started, because you see, I'll get to going and talking and you'll be like, Pam, I'm here with you. We can do this together. So first and foremost, thank you, Sasha, for coming and joining us. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. I am Sasha Walton Gutierrez, and yes, I'm recently married, so I try to remember to use my last name.
I can't. I can't.
So that's me, guys. That's me. But I'm a wife, I'm a mom. I enjoy life. I love life. I love helping people. I love doing business. I have a amazing business. The founder
Mhm.
of SWI Management Group, where we do strategic business development, marketing and branding and events. And also I have fun with my personal brand because I do lead my business with a brand. And I love showing up with you guys as a business strategist, international speaker, podcast host, and so much more.
So you guys let her look. She forgot to say she just came off of a 3-day summit, like literally, and I mean just
A
came off. I mean,
marathon.
how about an hour ago, or maybe 30, 40 minutes ago? So she is
Yeah.
really she is really a busy woman. So Sasha, let's just go and let's get in chatting and things like that. So before you landed where you are, did you ever work into the corporate world? And if so, did it prepare you for where you are now?
Yes, I've worked in corporate for over 20 years, over 20 years. So I have that extensive corporate background. Um, the skill sets from that truly prepared me for where I am right now. Um, it's all about that professional development. Sometimes people don't think about how you can really intermingle your professional life with your entrepreneurship life, but it really does make a big difference and helps you to, really fortify what you're doing, especially depending on the industry you were in. Um, Also, my educational background has prepared me for where I'm in now, and just overall experience, everyday life. You're always evolving, you're always growing. And like you said, always thinking, but
Mhm.
putting action towards those thoughts and just making it work.
So are you still currently working in corporate, or now you're a full-time entrepreneur?
So here's the deal. So I was working in corporate. I went full-time entrepreneurship for like 2 years right before the pandemic. The pandemic happened. I went back to work, relaunched my business. Now I'm here doing everything together.
But
So I'm
but
doing both.
we all do, but that's good because I want women to understand we're being realistic, right? We have to sometimes we have to do what we have to do, but
Yeah.
still knowing that we see our dreams and we're moving forward on our dreams and not let the pandemic or what
Mhm.
life itself hold us back. So I think that
Exactly.
is good. That is awesome that you're an example of, yeah, I'm in corporate. I went back, did the full entrepreneur, went back to corporate, and this is where I'm at. One thing
Yeah.
that really intrigued me that you are doing, actually everything. I really loved it all.
Thank
But you
you.
also do the contract, you get your government contracts to do events, which I
Yeah.
think that is really interesting. So how did you get into that piece?
Ooh, that's you ready for the little short story? Hope I can
Yeah.
make it short. So, so like I said, I was with the company for 20 years. I kind of like grew up in that company. And in 2018, I was laid off. Now, I always had my business on the side doing events. I had the desire of wanting to get into government contracting. Got kind of scared away by all the extra, but I had went to a conference right before me knowing that I was ever going to be laid off, and it was about government contracting. It lit my fire again to look into it and start to pursue it. Not knowing a month later I would be laid off. And so when that happened, I said, okay, well, while I'm putting in resumes, I had, everything else was taken care of through that package, whatever. But I said, you know what? Here's the time for me to go head in. Stepped into a proposal writing course that I was able to take and everything, and I just did it. And the next thing you know, I started going after those contracts like I had never thought I would ever do on my own. On my own, I went to workshops, took that
Mhm.
information, gleaned it, put it back into what I had to do. Scaled six figures within the first 6 months of my layoff, all in government contracting. So,
Wow.
yes, and at that moment in time, I said, "You know what? This is it. I rather be in control of my own checks,
Mhm.
my own time, and so forth." That that's in the past, right? I'm looking at that. Corporate life is in the past. So now, 2 years later, the pandemic happened. Now, I went back to work. Now, I could have been resourceful, but my mind, I was in survival mode. I was not even thinking
Mhm.
about what can I do to make this work and I don't have to ever go back to work again. I was like, you know what? I need some dollars because everything I
Right.
built up is starting to leave. And I'm like, wait a minute. But I don't regret going back to work, and it kind of gave me that time to get myself together mentally.
Mm,
And I was going to really sit in that position and be like, you know what? I am not going to touch anything again because the pandemic made me look like a failure.
mm,
And it kind of hit me in that way. I'll leave it right there. But it was something in me, it was just like, this is not it for you. There is more. And so it was a place for me to kind of regroup myself externally as well as internally.
mm,
And then I would say that it actually put me in a position to be the first person at that company, $1 million company, to write leadership programs for their field associates with a 50, almost 60% promotion rate. And first time ever, first time customer relationship program I was able to write. Now, these are things, like you said, the corporate life prepare you.
mhm,
Now, this corporate experience is level me up to be able to provide these type of services to others for my business. So if I had never went back to work, I would never have gotten that experience to be the first in their company to do that. And so I enjoy it. But then I relaunched my business. And here I am enjoying the personal brand, just showing up and, being able to, impact lives with people in different ways. And, I came out of my comfort zone doing that experience and just started to show up. And yeah, everything works out in the way it should, even though we don't like it the way it's going. But when we really embrace it and tap in, we can see the joy and the beauty out of
mm.
how the path is unfolding.
So true. So we have women around the world who are like, okay, this I'm feeling motivated. I'm feeling intrigued and start moving. What would be your tip on their first step to heading down that direction?
Okay, so I would say now, especially if they're still in corporate, devise a plan. Have your plan to move forward. And some people just step and they just go. They leave the job and they say, "Okay, I'm going to go out here cold turkey." I would say at least have a plan. Be able to set yourself up for success while you're going to make the transition. Second step is do your research, know your why for what you want to do, know what you want to do, and start to not only set that plan up for like a 9 to 5 exit strategy, but also start thinking about the type of business or the type of products or the type of service, whatever it is that you're thinking about, or even if it's writing books or speaking or whatever it is that you want to do, start looking at that and how that should look before transitioning into that phase of new life, because it's not hard, it's not easy out here.
Mm, it sure is.
It's
Listen,
not.
listen,
And being a full-time entrepreneur is
right.
a lot of accountability.
Got right, and it makes you, but it does. I have to say this: it does test your will, and it does show you where your strengths are.
Mhm.
And if you're a strong person, or even if you're a little weak, but you can lean in, it teaches you where you need to lean in, and then
Mhm.
also teaches you. Don't worry about. I know when I'm coaching women, they're always worried about what they're doing to the left and what they're doing to the right, and it teaches you
Yeah.
can't do that because guess what? That is going to create your failure plan. I promise you, it is
Mhm.
writing on the wall if you keep following people. So I'm always telling everybody, put your blinders on and go
Yeah.
straight. And I'm always giving the example. I mean, what do you think Wonder Bread does when they're in Walmart, Kroger's? They're not worried about all them thousands of brands of bread. They're just worried about their brand and how
Mhm.
can their brand stands out over the other brands. So I'm
Yeah.
always giving that piece of advice, but I'm glad you said that. Also,
Mhm.
what I really liked about what you were saying is because everyone thinks we don't face failure, right?
Yeah.
That we make it look so easy and so graceful, but they don't know what we go on in the back behind us. So with
Mhm.
that being said, how do you handle failure?
You know, I always say the way I handled that failure that I experienced. I mean, I think that moment in time was like it was the epic center of all moments in time, right? And
Yes.
I don't think I handled it well compared to anything else, any other hard challenges I did, because I actually went into a place of functionally depressed. And I didn't
Mm,
know it until I just kind of looked at myself one time. It wasn't anything that I had went to therapy or anything like that. I kind of listened to where I would talk to people, or I couldn't handle like hard questions and
Mhm.
anything like that. And it was just like my mind was just wrapped up in, I just need to get out of whatever this is.
Yeah.
And one night I was just laying in the bed and I was just like, wait a minute, I think I'm functionally depressed. Because it felt good just being in the bed. It felt
Hmm.
good to just cry at night and not know what you're gonna do. You don't have a plan. It's like, what in the world?
Right.
And I'm a very resourceful person. I can make something out of nothing. But at that moment, those thoughts were not rolling through my head. So I don't
Mhm.
think, compared to the strength level that I have been used to,
Yes.
that right there was the one that I was just like, oh. And it wasn't like I, retaliated to people or anything like that. But I just knew for me,
Hmm.
wasn't the me that I'm used to. And it really did rock me. I remember I always tell this example. My daughter, she was living at home at the time, and she was asking me some hard questions. You know how kids are. You always see
Yes.
or adult children can be like, "Well, mommy, why is this?" And
Yes.
the first thing I told her, I was like, "Look, I don't have the capacity to handle this conversation right now." That's all I could say. And she was
Right.
like, "Mommy, I don't have the capacity."
I understand. They will push it to that point.
And it wasn't like it was anything, like, out
Right.
the way. It was like she was asking me a question of something where I didn't do it. I could not get into that conversation because I felt like I wouldn't handle it well.
I understand.
So, I think that that will be the time in my life that I would say that that's what happened. But nowadays, or I would say what I incorporate more so is a healthier mindset.
Hmm.
And, that opportunity where something feels like it's just so overwhelming and so hard for you, you really just need, and I do this, I practice this, and I would tell anybody else who are handling what they feel is a failure. It's just like, step back 1 second from your thoughts, step back from what is happening, and just kind of go into you, do the breath work, do the, prayers, meditate, whatever it is that you do, and calm yourself so you can think clearly. And
Hmm.
then think about what is that you can do next in a situation to, make things work,
Right.
turn things around, analyze it with a clear view and see what you can do. But then also get the help if you need it. Don't be afraid of to go into therapy. If you're not a therapy person, but you're a reader, don't be afraid to read the right books that can
Hmm.
help unlock some of the things that could be transpiring that cause you to be in the place that you are. So I would definitely suggest that going to yourself, therapy if you need it, a good friend who's willing to listen and give you good advice or just be a sounding board for you. Um, things like that. But also just know that you have enough resilience in yourself if you look in towards yourself and allow that to flow out.
I like that. That's great advice. I think that is so helpful. I'm with you. Now, one thing I loved, you talked about writing. I think journaling is another one that is a really good. If you're not, like you said, if you're not one of those that wants to go, a good old therapist is I'm truly for them. I love me a good old therapist, and I get to be excited. I'm like, okay, so I get to. I'm always texting her, girl, you we're still on, right? And she's like, yeah, Pam. I'm like, okay. I just need to make sure we are on the same page. But I want everybody, and I tell that, and I want everybody to, it's no joke, but I want
Mm,
everybody to be comfortable with understanding there is nothing wrong with going to go to a therapist. They're there, that's their specialty, and they're there for you to talk to and to work
mm.
through what you need to work through. So I'm all about it. But yeah, I'm always like, we're still on, right? She's like, yes, Miss Pam. I'm just making sure because I don't want to get halfway down the street and you text me like, oh, and I'd be like, I guess I'll go back and we'll figure this out another day. So,
Yeah.
but I solely agree with you. So, Sasha, as we get ready, I can't believe the time is almost up. So,
Oh,
Sasha, real quick, what is your power? What is your superpower? We all have.
ooh, oh my gosh.
Yes.
My superpower is me.
Ooh, I love that.
It's me. It's me. Every time some people talk about superpower, I was like, it's me. Um, because I know the type of I know who I am. When you
Mm,
know who you are, you know your skill sets, you know like what you can really pour out. And
right.
yeah, I am my own superpower,
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
I'm like, I'm that superwoman where you could just, how Superman had all these different powers,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
when you're unified within yourself and you know what it is you could do, you are your superpower.
So true. I so agree with you there. And then are you doing what are you doing now what you envision yourself doing? Or did you envision yourself doing something different at this point in time?
I really envisioned myself doing something different. That would have been like more so with me doing the events and growing business that way solely. But, I never thought that I would be the one that would sit right here on the interview, showing and telling people, who I am and encouraging and empowering people because I was in that comfort zone. I
Mm.
was that one that was like, "Oh, I'd be great in the shadows. I could hide behind a logo. I could hide behind all the other people's projects, or I could hide behind running or growing somebody's business. They don't have to know who I am." And, I always looked at myself, well, I'm the best kept secret. Until
Mm.
somebody said, well, how are people going to know who you are if you're the best kept secret? And then I was just like, oh, whatever. But it took for me to be in that spiral
Mhm.
and get to that place of relaunching my business. When I relaunched my business, I knew deep down inside, and I'll say this because a lot of people know deep down inside what they really should be doing. We just don't want to do it. We want to
Agreed.
do things the way we want to do it. But
I
sometimes when there's purpose attached to it and there's that vision,
Mhm.
life has a way of not allowing you to do it the way you want to do it because it needs you to be in place because there's so many people waiting for your greatness to show up. And for me, I knew I had to be the face of my brand. That
Mhm.
was the level up. And I struggled with that a little bit within until I was posed with this question. It says, "Is your purpose greater than your fear? Is your fear greater than your purpose?"
Ooh.
And I answered myself and I said, because that question was from within. We could say, oh, God or, people, the universe,
Yes.
you want to go. But I know that, who I am. And I was like, yeah, my purpose. And I didn't want to miss out on opportunity.
Right,
So I
right.
ended up being in a place where I didn't really envision it, but I knew it could be.
Mhm.
It's something that I ran from. And now I'm here. So
I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing. I totally get what you're saying. So, and it's an amazing journey. I mean, once you know that you're on the right track or the right path, it's like, wow, it
yeah,
feels this is
it's
really
sooner.
right. And it feels, but it comes with the feeling this is one I cannot describe because everyone's always lately. So I
Yeah.
must be doing something. I thank God for where I'm at. I'm like,
Yeah.
God, I must be doing something because everyone's like, well, how are you doing it? It's not me. It is all him and how I move and where I move. It's just him.
He's the charge for your superpower.
Yes. So I'm just moving along like he wants me to move along. And I mean, don't
Yeah,
get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I didn't hit a couple bumps every now and then, but it's
yeah.
still this is nice over here. It's really nice in this journey. So speaking of vision, do you use a vision board for any of your projects or any of your goals?
I have started vision boards and I have not finished some vision boards. We have vision books, so half vision boards. So I guess half of the stuff is happening. I don't know. But I'm one of those type of people where I see it and I can
Yeah.
move with it. So it's kind of hard for me to pull it out because I have it.
Mm,
So it's like here and I just like, oh, just do it.
yes.
But
Yes.
so I force myself to write things down. I force myself to make it plain, do journaling, write out the vision and the plan. I do things for my business, but
Of
that
course.
quiet time when it's like you have to vision cast. So I
Yes.
have done some boards, whether you're cutting and pasting. I've actually had drawn some of my
Yeah.
things. So
Oh, wow.
um oh my gosh, come to think about it. Yeah, one of the things did happen on my vision board. It just came.
See?
I got married. So that was one of
Yay.
you answered the question because it just hit me. Oh my gosh. So yeah. And a lot of things are coming to pass that I can go back to those boards and look at and see. But yeah, I have several out there. I have attempted
I understand. I love vision boards. Actually, Vision Made Media was created from the vision board. I always give the story of I did a vision board, dated, and I have it. 10, 20, 20, 20. And in the bottom in the corner, there's two words, Vision Media. And I'm like,
Mm.
that's not gonna, that's, yes, I put it on there. To this day, I don't even know why it was on. I don't know, but others did know. I didn't know why it was on there. And fast forward to now, where I have the podcast streaming channel in the magazine. I'm like, wow, God, you really, it did come true, but you had the words in front of me all this time to show that it
Yeah.
does work. So I'm
It's
always telling everybody that they do work. You have to put in the work to have them work.
yeah.
But I'm always saying that. I'm glad to hear that you look, that you have some,
Yeah,
and you
I have some, but I definitely want to say this. If we have time, I could give like a great example. I know I threw out my ring, but I had an aha moment the other day. And
yes,
sometimes whether we're doing vision boards or we're writing something down or we're constantly saying it, you know, especially if we speak in general, we don't know how it's going to happen. We know it will happen, but we have to pay attention to when it
right,
happens. So I in 2018, when I became a full-time entrepreneur, my thing was like, oh, I'm gonna work. I want to work from any island I want to work from. My ultimate goal is to be able to be in position where I can do that. So fast forward, and I didn't say which island or anything.
right.
So it hit me because since November of 2022, I've been traveling back and forth to the Dominican Republic. I'm
Oh,
there like almost every other month. And I actually work from there sometimes.
yeah,
So it hit me. It didn't come the way I thought it would, but it's actually here. And it was something that I did write down somewhere. It was something I talked about all the time. And I'm like, wow, it really happened. So it was like you have to really pay attention,
mhm,
or at least have that one moment in time where you could look around and be like, oh, wait a minute. This is,
right.
yeah. And go back to your journal, go back to the vision board. Cause I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go back in my closet and pull out all of them and see what can I check
You
off,
going
because
back?
I
No, that's
definitely
right.
been paying attention. But it allows the blessings to unfold for you
So
in such
true,
a
so
beautiful
true.
way, in the surprising moments too. So I just wanted to
So
get that.
true. I love that. So real quick, we still have a few more minutes, but right here is a perfect time. If anybody wanted to reach out to you or get connected to you, how can
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, you can actually go to my website. It's scrolling at the bottom is www.swimgtgroup.com. That's the best way people can remember. Um, my socials are attached to it, but I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, Sasha Walton, SACHA. I'm on Instagram, is that girl Sash, SACH, or you can always Google me. Um, I know that's something, a term that we all, but trust me, you can Google me. If you can't remember anything else, just do that and it will take you to everywhere
I
else that
know
I
that's right. I know that's right. Well, at this point of the show, we change this mood a little bit, and we just
mentioned.
get a little bit more close to you. So something I'm always talking about is book on the shelf, and that
Mhm.
is about. And I know you have a book. I wrote it down, "The Ugly Truth About Mental Health," and I think that I would love to hear a little bit more about that book and how can people purchase the book.
Yeah, so it's the ugly truth about entrepreneurship, the keys to managing mental wellness. That's my heart. That is my pandemic story. It is where I learned these keys to managing mental wellness going forward in my life, and I share it with the world. And my main one is that I always tell people is prioritize self-care.
Hmm.
They're very practical, and there's some of the things that you probably never thought about as being wellness for you. But prioritizing self-care, definitely it. Ignoring the noise, just like how you talked about earlier, where you have to like just stay in your lane, don't worry about everybody else. Some people can really get bogged into what are others doing, and you can go frazzle and stress yourself out. So, as a way of managing your wellness, is just to pay attention to your own self. Don't worry about everything else. Don't worry about the noise. Don't worry about what people are showing on social media, all those things. So, you can find so many things like that in the book. And it's just really a good balance of things. But they can find it on Amazon. You can purchase from there. It's everywhere as well, Barnes and Nobles. And if you're watching from Overseas, you could find it in some of your online outlets over in Europe and Australia and so forth.
I love it. I love it. And so, yes, you talked about self-care. So
Yeah.
what are some of the self-care routines that you do for you?
Oh my gosh. The beach is the main one. The
Mm.
beach is the main one. Oh my gosh. Like I just love to be able to just get away and just still and just get to myself. Another one is the gym. I go to the gym. It's a great way of
Mm.
zoning out. You can just
Yes.
get a lot of work. Then you come out with some good endorphins, you get your little happy hormones rolling. And I love like a good chocolate chip cookie. Some people don't think like food or something is good, for self-care, but if it's something that helps you unwind, anything that makes you say, "Mm," and just be like you're in a good place within
Yes.
yourself at that moment in time. It could be a good book, it could be your journal, it could be a glass of wine, it could be hanging out with your family and friends, something like that. But something that's going to help you tap out of that busy space.
Yes.
Consider yourself a pamper day, anything, a massage, just in your own bathroom, just caring for
Mm.
yourself is a moment of self-care. Whatever that looks like for you, I just tell people to make sure they prioritize it, especially entrepreneurs, because we're always taking care of everybody else, especially when we have families and stuff. And then when it comes down to time for us, we're tired and broke down.
Mm.
You know, we may have people that could take care of us as well, but who's going to take care of us better than we?
You can. Right.
We can't, right? So I just tell people to make sure you do that, setting boundaries, setting your time. Like if you get off at, you start working at a certain time, let that be your time, your
Mm.
boundary, saying no, all those good things you can find in the book. So yeah, definitely get the book, you guys.
Oh, that's right, you guys. Got to get the book. Got to get the book.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
the last question that I want to ask you is, as we get ready to close the show down, what would you like to leave everybody with?
Oh man, I would just say just go after your dreams. Whatever you feel in your heart to do, whatever that vision is, don't be afraid of it. Don't get stuck in the comfort zone.
Mm.
Tomorrow's not promised. So you
Right.
want to go and just do what you need to do. Go do it scared if you have to. Get rid of the fear eventually, limit the beliefs, all that stuff. Just do it. Get out there, have fun with it, get the help you need along the way, and just surprise yourself in being great in the levels that you can.
I know that's right. Miss Sasha, this was fun. I could have you back. I could talk all day. I appreciate you. This was so
Thank
much fun.
you. Thank
I'm going
you.
to put you in the green room, so please don't go anywhere. And I will be back in just a minute.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys, did you get your look? My paper is full. I have on back and front of she dropped some mini nuggets. I hope you guys have gotten your nuggets. She talked about, facing failure. She even talked about her superpower is her. Sasha just dropped so many golden nuggets. So if you're just now tuning into the show, you can catch the replay on all the podcast platforms, as well as if you're one like me that you want to see the person that's talking, you can catch us on Apple TV, Roku TV, and the Fire Stick as well. And you can find us under the Right Place TV, and then underneath there you can find Vision Made TV, and you'll see all the episodes such as this one, which is amazing, that can empower and inspire you. Well, you guys, today was another amazing show, and I always say to you, you only have one life to live. Live this life as to the fullest. Sasha said it perfectly. You only get tomorrow's not a guarantee. So live today as today is it. And tomorrow, when it comes, you live for tomorrow. If you're needing help to go after your what's next, or if you're needing help with setting your goal, go ahead and drop me a line, or you can text me at 614-674-0074, and just put in the text chat, and someone on my team will send you a form just to fill out so we can get you on my schedule, and we'll sit down and have a quick chat. If you are looking to put an ad on this platform, go ahead and text me at the same number and just put ad, and we'll drop you the information on how you can become have your ads and expand your reach with your message. Until next week, y'all, when I have another amazing guest as I did today, I want you to know you rock. I appreciate you. Until then, bye, everybody.